It's kind of funny, but this is one of the things I didn't even mention earlier, which was water. Oh, I think you're probably thinking that I was talking about the stick or talking about breathing, but no, water. So exhaustion, people talk to me all the time about, coach, I'm exhausted, I'm a parent, I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm a student athlete myself, or whatever, fill in the blank, I'm exhausted. So you're exhausted. One thing, exhaustion can rear its head from mineral depletion. Also, just dehydration is another easy thing that can cause exhaustion. But obviously we're talking about sleep for the most part. There's gonna be 7 things that are gonna drop on you if you pay attention to, if you implement, they are going to help you. Try and go through this fast. Number 1 is the time that you're sleeping, like your circadian rhythm. When are you sleeping? Are you sleeping at the consistent times? Not as much when you go to sleep as much as when you wake up, when you need to wake up to get up to start your day. And what's the quantity and quality of that sleep? Not to mention, like, how are you going to sleep? Do you do a brain dump before you go to sleep? Write everything down that's in your head so you're not distracted? Are you releasing your muscles before, like, you go to sleep, so that, like, sitting on a softball, releasing that piriformis, some of the other muscles that are tense? Are you, like I said, are you going into that with an empty mind? Or are you thinking about some of the distractions that you have going on, some of the questions that are kind of ever present in your life? If you are, then you're going to be trying to solve them while you're sleeping. That dream work, you don't want to do that. It's not very peaceful, but you're going to get answers. Cold showers before you go to bed. A lot of people are like, the hot shower I like to puts me to sleep, but that cold shower right on the front temple here, the frontal lobe, is very, very helpful, especially 2 minutes of it before you go to sleep, man, puts you right into like a very blissful state. The other thing too is make sure you're seeing a regular chiropractor about alignment, making sure that you're getting massage or that you're doing self-massage or whatever, so that you can actually do something about it. Sometimes when those breathe right strips is helpful for your sleeping, because if you're not breathing, that's not very helpful. So that breath work, doing that before you go to sleep, or that breathe right strip's helpful. Number 2, nutrition timing, knowing what to have and when. But some of the things is just pulling out some of the things you shouldn't have. Don't be having caffeine late. Avoid sugar, period. End of story. The white sugar, the white flour, just get it out of your diet. If you want to have fruits because you're training and stuff like that, that's fine. There's an appropriateness of fruits when you're actually active. If you're not being active, you probably need to be appropriate with your nutrition timing and what you're putting in your system. Number 3, exercising. Find your sweet spot. Usually getting up in the morning, a little bit of movement is helpful, but a lot of people, strength training at that time of the day is not really functional. So maybe strength training later in the day, making sure that you're getting out, you're getting activity, you're walking, you're doing things like that. Find the thing that your body really likes and then try to focus on that. Make sure that you do some strength training though, so that you avoid that issue with osteoporosis later on. Next thing is number 4, I call it the mint, the most important necessary to do. Also sometimes the most important necessary or next to do. And that is, I try to do it when I'm at my peak, and usually that's in the morning, so I try to get that done if it's appropriate. If I have to contact somebody else to do it, I probably can't do it at 5 a.m. But there's probably something I can do to set that up. So later on, it's just a boom, slam dunk, because the setup's already there. That's a big difference. So that most important necessary to do, I call it the mint. Do that first if it's that important. Number 5, getting things done. We're talking about David Allen and organizing. Your inboxes, have as many as necessary, but no more than necessary. So 1, 2, 3, maybe one at home, maybe one at work, maybe one in the car, one in your phone probably, obviously. Understanding how you organize things and how you keep things in the right places and trusting the process. It's like I wake up in the morning, I want to have a cup of coffee. I know what that process is. Actually, I'm going to do it the night before. I'm going to preset it and I'm just set that timer for it, and boom, it goes off. It does it on its own. The coffee grounds are already in there. The filter's already in there. I already have filtered water already in there, and I just wake up and it's done. It's magic, right? It's because I trust the process. I know that I can count on that to happen. I don't have to rethink that every single time. It's not necessary. So that's streamlining it. Number 6, review, reflect, and preview. Make sure that you've organized your day in such a way that at the end of the day you have at least a couple minutes to say, hey, what did I do? What did I do good? What could I have done better? And then preview the next day, and then get up in the morning, kind of the same thing a little bit, like preview what am I going to do today? What's going to happen? And then not to get nervous or anything, but it's just like a marketing campaign. You know, when a new movie's coming out, people get all jacked up about it because there's that build up, that surge. Let's treat your day like it's a movie, like it's, you know, like there's a red carpet event, something like that. I don't care if you have to tell yourself these crazy little stories to get yourself worked up about it, because it's your day, and the emotion, the energy you put forward into it, and that great anticipation that you have is going to be helpful. It doesn't put pressure on the situation, it just enriches the situation. It gets you more focusing on the positive things in it. Number 7, this is the biggest thing, have your go-to positive relationship. I can't even tell you how critical this is. In your life, there are going to be VIPs to that red carpet event, and the different places that you have different events, you're going to need VIPs for each of those events, because you don't want, you don't want to just have just the average people in your life walking down that carpet. You want the VIPs walking down that carpet, and they need to come first. They need to come first in your life, and they need to come first as it relates to positivity. Don't just share the bad stuff with them. Share your trials and tribulations. That's fine though too. You should be able to entrust that with them, but you need to also share the wins with them. Share the positivity, share the things that you're excited about. That way when you look at them, you get excited. When they look at you, they get excited, because they know you're going to share that goodness with them. And when there's more goodness, then there's, you know, things to be like, oh gracious, you know, like those types of things. If you start just sharing bad things with people, when they see you, they're gonna be like, oh man, here comes Todd. He's gonna have something like, you know, a whammy. You know, it's I don't even know if this is a thing, but like he's gonna have something that's not great that I don't wanna hear about, right? Or, hey, here he comes, he's gonna have something good to say. You wanna have like that dreaming, that imagination, that growth in your relationships, that joy. You want to be able to learn from your relationships and also teach in your relationships. There's something you can take out of it. There's something you can add to it. It's almost like having it's like having your own mastermind as it relates to like business. You have your own mastermind group at home, your mastermind group at work, your mastermind group at whatever you do as a recreation or a hobby or something like that. Those are people that you collaborate with, those people you conspire with, those people that you share life with. And when you look forward to these things, because it's the person that's near and dear to you, that relationship's gonna grow to new levels. And the thing is, so many people don't give themselves the opportunity to really love these relationships, to really like soak in all their worth, because unfortunately they start off by sharing something that's negative. And then if you repeat that pattern over and over again, eventually when you see that person and they see you, they're gonna experience that emotional connection to that negative piece. Like Tony Robbins tells us about, don't do that. Once you catch yourself doing it, boom, disrupt the pattern. Stop what you're doing and say, wait a second, how about I share 3 positive things before I share anything that might be challenge or adverse? Or I ask them how they feel about me sharing this with them, and if they don't want to, I just write it down instead. I don't have to share my, something that maybe was like a challenge with me, because it's going to be too painful for them. Or why is it painful? What can we do about that? But the main thing is focusing on that positive relationship that you can actually have that enriches your life. So let's go through it again. The quantity and quality and the timing of the sleep, nutrition, timing, exercise, finding that sweet spot, that that most important, next, necessary to do. The organization is number 5. Number 6 is review, reflect, and preview. And number 7 was that go-to positive relationship with your VIPs. Now, this is how you avoid exhaustion. Not just avoid exhaustion, because let's flip it. Let's forget about avoiding exhaustion and talk about being completely jacked up about the day. And I mean jacked up in a good way. Completely enthusiastic, waking up with so much energy and vibrance that you're just like, man, I'm gonna do it today. I've got what it takes to get done what needs to happen in order for me to move this flywheel forward, or to move this whatever it is forward, because I know deep down in myself that what I'm committed to is worth my time, energy, focus, and commitment to stay with, even if there's adversity that's in front of me right now and seems like it's unwilling to move. I'm going through it. I can get it done, and I'm not going to be exhausted.